Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo. Today's video is going to be about sprucing up this little sailboat that I made several years ago from Seaglass. A friend of mine went to Massachusetts, and knowing how much I really love Seaglass, she brought me some really cool pieces. And when I saw these two, I thought, boy, they'd make a really cool little sailboat. So I wired them up. And I don't really wear it that much. The few times I've worn it, I've just put it on a chain, but it doesn't really stand out, especially with my very fair skin. It just really doesn't stand out much. So I am going to spruce it up a little bit, and hopefully it will stand out a lot better on my pale skin. So when you look at this, you have a very light green, and then this is just kind of a creamy white. And I remember last month in my bargain bead box shipment, these crystals came in, and I think they look really good with this. And then I remembered some Amazonite that I got, probably several years ago in a bargain bead box. And so I've dug those out. And I really like this combination here. Now I need some spacer beads, so I'm going to go and dig around and see what I have that will look good with this. So I started laying these out, and I don't have quite enough beads to do what you would typically think to do. Just do every other bead. So I'm going to kind of have to do a little bit more rearranging. And maybe what I'll do, since I have fewer crystals, let me take those all out. Maybe I'll use those more as a focal. Move these down. I think I want these in the middle. I think that'll look good in between there. And then just start off putting the crystals here, maybe 3, and then do 1 and 3. Anyway, let me mess with this a little bit and see what I like best, and I'll be back. Also in last month's bargain bead box were these donut spacer beads. I think they look a lot like a rope, which is perfect for sailing. So I think I'm going to use these in this piece also. So this is what I have so far. Obviously, it's not going to be long enough for a necklace, so I'm going to have to add something to it. I think I'm going to add this chain. It looks like something that you might see around ships or boats. It's a little bit chunkier, so I think that'll look nice with it. I could have added more crystals, but you know, sometimes you can get a little too blingy. So we have almost 11 inches. By the time we get the clasp on here, it's going to be probably over 11 inches. So I'm going to cut me some chain, add it on here, try to find a clasp that goes really well with this, and try it on for you. So as I'm going through my stash of clasps, I see a lot of ones that would work really well that look more nautical, but they're not the right color. These all look like ropes, and they would have been perfect. Now, what I should have done is dug around in my clasps first, and then I could have mixed my metals and maybe used a little bit of the antique bronze or copper in here, and then that way these would have looked okay. But I did not do that. So these aren't going to work. So let me put those back. And, you know, I have these plain toggles. I have these. This one, I don't really like that. And I think this one's too fancy. But I'm still not feeling either one of these. I think that one's too small. I think I'm going to go with these really big lobster claw clasp. With the chunky chain, I think it's going to work best. So let me finish this up and I'll be right back. Here it is all finished. It turns out to be about 17 inches, this part, and then we have another 2 inches for the sailboat. I put some larger jump rings here, and then here's the lobster claw clasp that I used. We have Amazonite and crystals, and then some spacer beads that mimic a rope, which I think this really turned out nicely and looks very nautical. Here's what it looks like on. Definitely looks better than the little wimpy sterling silver chain that I wore it with. It stands out a lot more. It's still a little pale against my skin, but I think if I wear the right clothing with it, it's going to stand out and be perfect. Sometimes you don't want to get too bright, although I'll have to say I do like my bright jewelry. But anyway, let me know what you think. I hope you give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Mostly though, I hope you all have a fantastically wonderful day. This is Terry Jeanette with the Tapping Flamingo signing out for now. Bye-bye.